Hey, it's Taylor, and welcome back to Beyond Basketball, where we're going to be tackling a pretty deep topic today on how to discover your larger mission in life. This is something that very few athletes have ever done, and I would even say that only the greatest human beings in history have ever really uncovered this for themselves. So we'll discuss the steps that they went through to uncovering their, first of all, their life purpose, and then how that purpose evolved into a larger global mission. And I think personally, this is some of the coolest stuff going right now. If you're really into this Beyond Basketball material, this is really where it all leads. And I think you're going to enjoy it. So keep in mind, as always, we have a special gift for you at the link in the description. If you're into this material, that's the next step that I would suggest taking. Stay tuned until the end when I'll talk about that a little bit more. But in the meantime, enjoy this clip. So very quick recap, stage 0, survival. How do I survive better? Money, status, pleasure, sex, resources, all of that. Stage 1, self. How do I become better? Developing yourself, navigating partial purposes, building your skill set. Stage 2, using that skill set once it's fully honed to help other people. And stage 3 is when that act of helping other people isn't just helping your immediate surroundings, but it becomes more like a mission in the world. It becomes it expands out to all of humanity, and what you truly stand for in the world and what you're creating becomes very clear. And the reason this is such a perfect segue, and like I said, this is the opposite feeling of just the tank's empty. The tank almost feels infinite at this point. And the way I named this stage is spirit. It's spirit, because it becomes this intensely spiritual process. It feels like you're being moved by spirit itself. And when I was in Encinitas getting ready to meet Adam, and I'm going for a walk, and I'm going into the coffee shop that day, and I'm considering all my options, and that idea of the retreat just came up, and it like took hold of me. And it was energetically, I could feel it in my body, like I could not do it. It was, again, the baby's coming. Like I'm in creative labor now, and too late, like no turning back. That's what it feels like. It's this overwhelming current of life force that propels you in the direction of doing that thing. And this is where you see the like Martin Luther Kings of the world, Nelson Mandela, like talk about a roadblock or like life he spent 27 years in prison for protesting apartheid. That's a quarter century, more than a quarter century, you know, but he still did it, and he got out and he kept on going. Like that's stage 3. And at that level, I had this meeting with I really would love to know where they're at, but this was 10 years ago, and I've lost touch with them. But there was a guy who, back home, he was a co-founder of this startup that was building a Google Maps of space, of outer space. Really cool project, super, super smart. He was a developer. And so we got coffee one day, and he asked me this question, really simple question. He's like, why did you start your business? Why? But I could tell he was asking it on a deeper level. It's not like, oh, it's cool, make money. No, like, why really? And we both had the same answer, because I asked it back to him. We said the exact same thing. And it was, I can't not do this. It was just so obvious. It was like, this is going to happen, period. And so for me, you know, I like sat in this student house basement covered in mold with a mattress on the floor next to my desk where I filmed all the prolific shooting episodes or videos. And I did that for 9 months, and I was like, this is happening. You know, I'm not going to class because this is the thing. And he said the same thing. Once that idea came into view, like Google Maps of space is a big idea. It's like, this has to happen. It's just gonna happen. And it's like spirit takes over. And of course, the basketball business wasn't the ultimate goal, but at that point, that was my purpose. And it was just like, moving me. Wasn't even me moving. I just was like charged up, jumping out of bed. It felt like flying. And interestingly enough, I had the exact same experience getting ready to open this apprenticeship, where Adam was with me actually on retreat down there, and I spent a longer time down there than he did. He spent about a week and a half, and when we were splitting apart, he was about to fly home. I took this little trolley like deep into the heart of the jungle where the center was, and I was about to get started. And as I'm on the trolley, Adam and I had spent the week talking about deep game and this idea that I had. And I went to that retreat center, and I had this very distinct feeling that it's the only words that can describe it are I felt like I was flying. It was just impossible that I was going to continue with EGT and not do deep game. It was impossible. There was like no amount of money. You give me $10 million today and I work on EGT for another year? No. No, I'm not doing it. And so this is ultimately the indication at this level, at stage 3, is in the beginning we're following curiosity and intuition, and what do you feel pulled to? This is like not a pull. This is just like you're sailing through space. There's nothing that can stop you, and it's really follow the energy. Like the baby's coming, you know. And what really makes you feel alive? And ultimately, what we're optimizing for, and this goes for all stages really, we're optimizing for aliveness. It's not for pleasure or for satisfaction of our desires or for status or money, of course, or like how we look in the eyes of others. We're optimizing for aliveness. What makes you feel the most alive? And that includes some pain. You know, it includes some struggle. And not starting deep game was not like the smoothest process in the world. And moving on now, I feel for me, I'm touching into stage 3, like I'm pressing into it with this retreat. This is like the early form of my stage 3 personally. Deep game was more of like a stage 2 thing. It was smaller for me than what I see in my mind, a lot smaller. So this is the sprout just breaking ground is for me this week.
I was gonna say at the coffee shop you mentioned that was like pulling you with it, but you said it's not. You wouldn't consider that stage 3. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of confused me.
Sorry, what did I say?
So in the coffee shop, when he asked your why, and you used that as a pretty good example of spirit stage 3, but you wouldn't put that in stage 3, starting elite guard training.
Yeah. So this is the clarification. Like at every level, we're optimizing for, like if you get a hit, like this is the next step, that's perfect. Like that's still spirit kind of moving you, but the outward expression of it, when you really land in stage 3, it's like a global mission sort of level. Does that make sense? So the magnitude grows, and we'll
like
kind of
dabble in it, but it's not like fully stage 3. Like you hit a little piece maybe.
Yeah, it's partial. You know, that was stage 1 for me, but the act of following the energy, like following the feeling of I've got to do this, that's a practice that you have all the way. It just happens to get way stronger in stage 3, like way, way, way stronger. To the point where like in cases of many of these people, they would give their life for it. And some did, you know. This is like Elon Musk. You all know this, but I'll say it again. Elon Musk started Tesla and SpaceX thinking in his mind, or he calculated anyway, that there was a 10% chance that they would succeed. And he put all of his own money into it, like all the money he got from PayPal, he put it all in because he didn't want to waste other people's money on something he didn't think would work. But he felt deeply enough that it had to be done. So he did it anyway. That's stage 3. And, you know, colonizing Mars and getting humanity off of fossil fuels. Like those are big things. That's stage 3 stuff. So hopefully that clarifies it. But that feeling of aliveness the whole way, like that's what you're optimizing for. Where do you feel most alive? Is it in the water, in the ocean? Okay, that's a clue. That's a clue. What makes you feel the most alive? When you're selecting a partner in life, like a wife or a girlfriend, I'll tell you right now, it's not the person that's going to make you feel the best all the time. It's not. It's the person that's going to make you feel the most alive. And I've had relationships that feel really good that just get super boring really quick. It's just like, oh, this feels good, but it's not challenging me. It's not like the most profound relationship I've ever had, and I'll share this later in the week. The story was by far the most challenging. And it was like, I felt like I was getting like my rib cage cracked open and my heart was like exposed to the elements all the time. Super intense. But man, did I feel alive. That's the feeling that you're going for. Hey, it's Taylor. If you enjoy this type of beyond basketball material, then I'd like to share something with you. So for the last few months, I've been writing a daily email newsletter for a small group of our Deep Game students who are interested in applying these principles beyond basketball to life as a whole. So we discuss things like finding your path in life, your purpose, even advanced meditation and spiritual practice, love and relationships, building modern businesses, and generally speaking, the path to self-mastery. And so if you'd like to join that email list, then there's a link in the description, or you can head over to taylorallen.me and you'll be able to sign up for that list. And not only that, but when you sign up, I'll give you a 90-minute talk from our Deep Game retreat last summer where I shared for the first time ever the 9th law of the Deep Game. This is some of my favorite material that I've ever released. And if you like this type of talk, then you're really, really going to love what you see in these daily emails and of course in the 9th law session. So head over to the link in the description and I will see you over there.